Well, the Wasteland game has also mixed grit with silliness, offsetting slavery and cannibalism with mutant killer bunnies and the like. That's one of the things that hasn't changed about Wasteland 3, which is still an RPG when malfunctioning toasters can be cracked open for sweet loot if you have got the toaster repair skill.
It's been a rough few years for the Desert Rangers. When the world ended, they tried to bring some order to what was left of Arizona. But then, the Cochise AI woke up, and they found themselves in a fight to the death with its robot army. In the end, they had to nuke their own base to kill the damn thing for good. Been hard going ever since. Then, the Rangers heard from a fellow calling himself the Patriarch. Said he owned Colorado, but his kids were trying to steal it from him. And if the Rangers were to come and put him in their place, he'd give Arizona all the food and supplies it needed to rebuild and survive.
Whoa! Sorry, Major. No way we're getting through that.
10-4, Cody. Advance team reported an alternate route across a frozen lake. Find it.
Copy that.
Well, reluctant as the Rangers are to interfere in family squabbles, they weren't really in a position to say no.
Our route's around that dam on the far shore. Scouts, check out the ice and lead us across.
Yes, ma'am.
So the Brass sent Ranger Team November across the Rockies, because the aid he was promising the Rangers wasn't just their best hope. It was their last.
Major. All good. Come ahead.
Yeah, it's been a rough road lately. But that's the thing about the Rangers. It doesn't matter how hard it gets or how many of them fall. They keep on fighting. The Rangers never stop fighting.
What's different is the setting. The endless land of Arizona and California has been traded for the endless snow of Colorado, with the characters as a squad of desert rangers who are way out of their depth. You're sent north to cut a deal with a prosperous local leader for supplies your home desperately needs, which means helping the Patriarch of Colorado Springs round up his rebellious offspring. Another thing that's different is Wasteland 3 is more streamlined with less of the deliberately old school clunkiness of Wasteland 2. If there was a game where you'd find a loot container, then have the character with perception check it for shenanigans, then a character with alarm disarming or demolitions render it safe, then if it is locked, use lock picking or safe cracking or brute force to actually open the damn thing. So now some of those skills has been deprecated. Lockpicking also lets you open saves, hallelujah. And if you click on something, the character who has the right skill will just automatically interact with it. The turn-based combat being streamlined as well. So when you mouse over a position before moving, it'll highlight who you can attack from there. just like XCOM 2, complete with revised percentages over their heads. Back to the combat, when characters attack, their strike meter goes up, eventually letting them unleash a precision strike attack. With most guns, that means the option to target a body part, whether it's a headshot for bonus damage, a fuel tank for a chance to trigger an explosion, or a robot CPU to turn them against their allies. Other weapons have their own precision strikes, like rocket launchers gaining a radioactive bonus to damage somehow, transforming into nukes mid-flight. The Wasteland games tend to have interesting factions but not interesting characters, and the only one I consistently remember is Angela Deth because her name's ridiculous. Here I felt a little more attached to the characters like Scotchmo, the comedic alcohol, and Vic, the taunting serial killer, because I've seen them up close. It feels more personal, while most conversations play out from a slightly zoomed in version of the isometric view. Some major characters get first person scenes where you choose your dialogue options, while they give mocap performances full of expressive interactions,
Ah, damn
like
it.
taking a swig from a
Looks like we
bottle or
killed 'em
fondling a
all.
weapon.
Guess the fun's
Conclusion:
over.
like its predecessor, Wasteland 3 is a kind of game where the most interesting story is the one you make, usually thanks to that
Wait a
seriousness and
minute.
silliness.
Maybe
Maybe you created
not.
a character who dressed like
Howdy,
a clown and inflicted
Hotlander.
status damage on
The
effects
rest is
on
gonna be
enemies by
sorry he
throwing yellow
stayed
snowballs
home.
at them.
He
Or
loves
maybe you
him
went into
some
battle with a herd of vicious
entrails.
animals, at least until you got sick of them and banned even the swearing parrot to bleed out in the snow. See you on the
You
next one.
don't know
Peace.
much, do you? The Dorseys are the harbingers of the deluge, the motherfucking end of the old world and the beginning of the new. And it all begins here, you little prairie dog. What I do to you, the Dorsey's gonna do to all of Colorado. So squeal all you want. No one's coming to save.